So these are bombs. You can use it to blow yourself up. You actually can. I'm going to do it. You can blow yourself up, and you take fire damage just before you die. And you could blow up spikes as well to help you get through areas. Interestingly, if I go back up to where that bomb depositing thing is, it will always make sure you have at least one bomb. Anytime you see one of these, it will always give you one bomb. The bombs do bounce off of walls. They're pretty useful. I can see their purpose for speedruns as well. But in terms of the actual game, you only really need them at probably about 4 or 5 points and bosses. But I suppose we'll cover bosses later when I actually get to one. So this is the palace gardens. Well, not palace. This is the dungeons garden section. None of them are actually real plants. It's all just big bits of metal that are trying to kill you. It's actually probably one of the hardest levels in the game. I found the water section incredibly easy. But again, we'll get to the water section, don't worry. The guards made me metal plants. That's what I was saying about the guards. I think are the people who make all of our devious inventions and traps. Oh, and I died. It's cool because we get to go back and get that other cog. Please. I want to try and get back up into that building. Whatever. Let's just collect the last remaining things and get out of here. I think I had some issues with this platform. I wasn't like sure if there actually is a way. Frame perfect, you can actually get in, but is there really a purpose? I don't think there is. I don't think you can actually make any progress going that way. Anyway, never mind. Yeah, so in the speedruns I'm actually like 10th position on the majority, and then some of them I'm like a bit lower, like 16th or whatever. But I'm roughly the same speed as everybody else in a big cluster. You can see the people who've obviously played the game for the first time, and their speeds are pretty terrible. I'm trying to bounce back off that wall, but it's quite difficult. There we go. Oh god, I missed the jump. That's why I missed the jump, because of the big fan blowing me back up. My mum told me a story about a stupid princess who pricked her finger on a sharp thing. And if you go this way, then she slept for 100 years and wasn't all wrinkly. So you can actually use the text on the walls, if they link into each other, you can actually use them as a direction for where to go. It's not true all the time, but you can use it some of the time, and it does help a little. It actually helped me on my first playthrough. And obviously if you can't see what's below you, just slide down the wall so you have more time to react, because you do go slower when you're sliding down walls. A thing to remember when you're doing the speedruns is not to touch walls unless you really need to. If you touch a wall, you basically want to hit it and then jump back off it as quick as possible. The same also goes for sliding walls, like the slanted walls. Because you will lose speed and you will lose time. I don't know why I'm doing so bad. There's a slight bit of frame rate lag when I'm recording this game compared to when I'm not. It says it's running at 60 frames per second, but it actually does seem a little bit laggy. I would say this is more like 25. It's 60 frames per second normally without recording, but it's just an issue I'm having when I'm recording this game. Do you miss your nice safe cell with no spikes in it? It's not too late to go back. I'm not going to fall for this one, But if you go up there, it basically blows you into a spike. There's a shortcut for cowards this way. It blows you right into a spike and you just die. And then next it's here. Yep, so terrible time. Towers are so chilly up here so high, so I've made it nice and hot. So these fires are actually an interesting mechanic. Oh god, I'm not going to be able to do it. Yeah, I'm going to have to die and go back down. So the fires are an interesting mechanic because they actually do generate lift if you have a glider, or if you have the hoverboard. I believe they generate lift for that as well. I'm not entirely sure at this point because I have only played the game for about 2.5 hours, but I'll find out eventually. Do you like dragons? I love dragons. Yeah, you'll meet the dragon at some point in this playthrough. Shit. Oops. Ah, I headbutted the spikes. Okay, let's go the hard way then. And we'll go on the way down. Make the fire... Make them on fire and spiky. So these dragon statues, they kind of fuck up your time a lot, the same as the swinging wrecking balls. They also wreck your time. Because if you get to a section where you've caught it in the wrong cycle, you have to wait for it to finish its animation before you can go through. My dad killed a dragon once, so they made him king. It was a bad dragon, so I forgave him. My mum says that's not the basis for a democratical society. I don't know what one is, but I'm sure she's wrong. This next bit is hard if you don't make a glider. So, on my first playthrough, I accidentally made this one, the dragon wings, which is basically double jump, instead of making the glider, which is like a slow fall mode. So this time I'm going to build the glider. So you change, on the top right you can see there's a picture of a glider, and you use a right bumper to change between which kind of device you want to use. So if you use, when you jump, if you hold the jump button again, you can glide, and you'll actually slow fall, as opposed to like a quick fall. So it makes the game like a little bit easier. It makes some impossible jumps possible, but it also slows you down. So when you do speedruns, there is basically no point, because you can actually complete the entire game without using any of these. This is what I was saying about the interesting mechanic with the fires. If you notice, I jump on it, and it can actually push me up, because there's heat coming off the fires. They basically have an effect similar to fans, but it's a more steady effect, rather than the fans, which is kind of like a flickering effect. And it says there that our daddy gives pardons to anybody who escapes. Usually they get pardoned in bits. This guy didn't get very far. Just like a blood stain. Oh god. This is what I was saying about if you meet the cycles in the wrong way. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the cycle. And then not use the glider so that you fall through it as quick as possible. And there's the princess! Oh god. There's an achievement for beating the princess at these sections. She's actually fairly easy to beat. Like, I would say she's fairly easy. If you don't knacker stuff. And that's the end of this level. So we're back again, and we're on I can't remember which level this is. Level 4. Do you have a best friend? Wait, I'm gonna read that one. Do you have a best friend? Oh, for God's sake. Land in the fire, please. Please. I'm not using the fire properly. You're supposed to use them slightly different from what I'm trying to do. You're supposed to kind of glide across them and then let it boost you up. Whereas I'm just kind of jumping into the centre of it and hoping it works. You're meant to do something like this. There we go. So there's a limit on bombs. You can only have 5 bombs at a time. I bet you don't have a best friend, unless your best friend is a cockroach. Look, I drew you one. Manda is a better best friend than a cockroach, than your cockroach. So that's her and her dragon called Manda. The princess is incredibly cute. I mean, so is the main male character. I don't know what his name is. I'm just going to call him Prisoner, I guess. When I met Manda, she used to eat knights. That armour was very bad for her stomach. She still eats tin cans whole sometimes. There's also an achievement for reaching all of those secret rooms where it says no boys allowed. There's a lot of fun achievements in this game. Oops. Oopsie. Okay, get up, please. And then you can use double jump. Not double jump, the wall jump to bounce back and forward and get all of the cogs. The more cogs you get early on, the easier you'll find the later levels, and like I said, you can do it without any other upgrades, which is also a good thing, but it will give you an advantage and it's a lot more fun to use them. The hoverboard is probably the most fun out of the 3. But the double jump I used for so long because it was the first one I bought. And I didn't have enough money to buy any of the others. So I'm going to go down the other route to get all of the cogs on the other side. Sometimes we have tea parties. You're not invited. So I've just purchased the double jump. I'll show you what that looks like. It has a pair of bat wings, and it allows you to do double height jumps. It can also be used to quickly change your direction in the air, but it doesn't provide the same hovering ability as the glider when you use it over fires. It is a completely separate item. It's not just like a direct upgrade, it is like a separate item. So you will still need to use the glider if you want to use the fires to gain elevation. This one's pretty hard. I don't know if I can actually break these statues. I'm gonna try. I've never tried before. Nope. Whatever. Interesting fact, when the fire is being fired from the air downwards, you can actually move faster than the fire. And then you can use your glider to slow yourself. I bet you're wondering what these red stones are for. They're special. And this is where you get a little bit more of the story. See, they're for my dad. He's had this amazing potion made for him. It's called the Elixir of Life. She spelled elixir in probably the most adorable way you can. It's a magical. It makes you come back at the stones when you die. So that's been happening to me. So does that mean that I also have the elixir? That way, Dad can come and play here too. It's going to take another 5 years though, because some idiot stole the first potion. I bet you wish you were immortal. Yeah, so it looks like we might be the guy who stole the potion. Perhaps that's why we're locked in a tower in the middle of nowhere, getting dragon breath thrown at us and landing on spikes all the time. So I'm going to go on to the next level, and I think this will be the end of an episode actually, so be sure to like, favourite, subscribe, share, do whatever you feel like doing. Links to my Twitch, links to Lisa Rai, who's the lead artist and game designer for this game, links to her DeviantArt page and also her Twitter, and Stirfire Studios in the description.